So here we go again. What we've done today is we started putting our cork down for our road beds. We put our cork down, we save a lot of money because we buy a regular woodworking glue, general purpose woodworking glue, and tack it down. It's a tight bond glue, and it actually works a lot better. It expands and contracts, so if you have a little expansion contraction, it always has a little resistance. So what we've done today is we've brought everything back to our radiuses. We have a double track radius back here. Our small radius is 24 and our outside radius is a little wider. We're keeping 2.5 inch centers except for radiuses, which we expand 1/4 inch. This allows for 50-foot cars to actually bypass if 2 trains are going. As we've come around with our track work, we kind of want to add a little bit more detail, so we made a sweeping 24 to bring it back in, so it gives a little S-curve modification that allows you to do a little bit more scenery detail. This line that's going behind here is actually going to be the return line of the double dog bone loop, which is continuously all around the track. This first run is going to be for DC, so we want to keep it as wide as possible so we can run some of our bigger engines, especially a big boy or something like that, or some of the big diesels that require a larger radius. Now as we come over here, what I do in this area where we have the drops is I do not glue the cork. I just temporarily tack it in place, because we're going to cut out our areas for our river basins and for our bridges. So that section is not really glued, and it's just tacked in place, so you have the amount of material you need when you're doing that part of the display. As we walk around here tomorrow, when we come, if the next section here, we will actually be making the wide radiuses here. There will actually be a 36-inch radius, okay, which will be a 6-foot radius, which will continue around the outside of the town of Gary. And you'll see more of that tomorrow. Now as we continue down the end down here, we have actually done the same thing for the bridge work. We do not have cork laid yet because we continue in our work, and it's a slow process because everybody knows you run out of material and you keep going to a point where you run out of material. We've made our radiuses all the way to the back. We still have our bridge drop on this side. We have one on the other side. Now as we come down to this part of the bench work, we slow down because we need to put more of our radiuses in here. This is what I do. I cut long strips, and then as we do it, we make our radiuses and turns. We actually cut it into the radius so that it will straighten it out. You can bring it over on the 45. This will bring it in here, and then you bring your radiuses back. So when your next radius comes in here, you can actually put an S-curve in there, and you can bring it on back to where your line is like this, and you cut that off. This is called cookie cutting, and that's where we're at right now. We're cookie cutting our first run, and it's coming in a good process, and we'll see you on the next trip.